Imagine a woman sitting in a workspace in London. She's not a boss, she's not a startup founder, she's a mother. She's learning to use a computer to write a letter to her landlord about the mould in her child's bedroom. It's not the kind of tech you hear about online. This is real life. It's happening at a job club. Now, the official way to get help has lots of rules. You have to prove you need it, you have to sit inside a certain box, and if you don't fit the rules, you don't get no help. But this job club is different. It has no rules. Who can come to it? Who can take part in it? You don't have to prove anything. You just have to show up. And when it happens, everything changes. It's not a deal. It's not a trade. It's about respect. It's about help with no catch. The man who built this is our guest today, Williamz. He took space for new companies and opened its doors for the people these companies can forget. So what happens when a place for business becomes a place for people? All people. Let's find out. Here's Williamz on today's Co-working Values podcast. Hi folks, and welcome to today's edition of the Co-working Values podcast. And in my luxury studio is Williamz. Do I say that right? Is it Williamz?
Yeah, Williamz. So the Z's, not S, not plural, just special.
Just special. There's a lot of special with you, isn't there? So Williamz, what are you known for, and what would you like to be known for?
What am I known for? I'm known for doing too many things, and I want to be known for being disruptive in all the things that I do. So I'm a social entrepreneur, and I run a CIC called WO Consultancy, and we specialize in community engagement projects that tackle inequalities in employability support, digital inclusion, access to the creative arts, access to health messages, and engaging with hard to reach young people. And outside of my social entrepreneurial realship, I am a photographer and a documentary maker.
So lazy. There's what is. How did you get into we were talking before we came on, and the whole thing here, just to frame the conversation for the listener, is the job club that you run in one of our favorite co-working spaces, Space 4. And how you used to hard to reach. What do you mean? I know what you mean by that, but can you explain what that means? Because I think that's one of those phrases that people say and they think they know what it means, but you and I know East London really well from our conversations. So, what's a hard to reach person in East London nowadays?
So, when I hate using these terms, but when you work in certain sectors, you have to use the terms to let the powers that be know that these are the people that you want to work with. So, hard to reach would fall under underrepresented groups. So that would be minority groups in certain parts of the country or the city, in wards that are identified as deprived with high levels of unemployment and poverty. I don't like using these terms because I just call it community, So what we do is we work with the community, we work for the community, and we put projects on in the community to tackle inequalities or lack of support. So a perfect example is our digital inclusion pledge, where we've basically said that there's a divide when it comes to the haves and have-nots. So what we want to do is to plug that gap by putting on free workshops, free courses that are very high in quality. So I am also a university lecturer at Ravensbourne University. So I know about teaching styles, learning styles, and putting together courses. And we take great pride in putting very well-rounded courses together that people could pay for because they're that good, but they're free to the community member. So we're plugging that gap. So we do basic IT, intro to LinkedIn, social media courses, so parents know how to be safe with their children online, We do interview techniques, confidence building, intro to AI. So, you might be having conversations around AI around the water cooler at work, but to the lone parent who is having issues with her landlord with mold, I'm teaching them how to use ChatGPT to write a letter to their landlord to tell them off about the mold in the corner of their child's bedroom. So it's providing access to services and to knowledge that you wouldn't normally have access to unless you're paying for it or you're around people who are talking about certain things.
And why I prefer your language too, just to be clear, like all those kind of, I like the way you say powers that be, like the powers that be need to learn, they need to hear a certain terminology that's like the term of the moment in order to be able to understand what needs to be done. But what is it? Why do you want to run this? Because we were talking a bit about this before you came on, but like running this, I think it's like one of the most important things a co-working space can do. And there are other projects like this I've heard of, but I can't believe there's not more places that do this kind of thing. But like, why do you want to get a group of people together and run this job club?
I guess it comes from growing up and receiving support at the time when I was younger and not realizing how important that support was at the time. Like I just thought it was okay, this is what's supposed to happen. So I mentioned earlier one of my French teachers who was so hard on me, and I thought she hated me, and she was always telling me off, and she made me go to an African studies lunchtime group to learn about African history. And it wasn't until I left school I realized how important that was and why she was really hard on me, because she wanted me to stay on course. She wanted me to concentrate and learn and listen and understand. And at the time, I just thought she was nagging me. And I also speak about my my PE teacher, Mr. Bustle, who saw something in me and would again stay on me and get on me and make sure I came to training before school and after school and in lunchtime, and not realizing that support kind of set me on this path of playing basketball. I played professional basketball. The African study history made me really appreciate history and learn about self, and be a confident Black man because I knew where I came from, so I knew where I was going. So all of these things has helped me become who I am today, and I really appreciate that. So I guess with my consultancy, I'm kind of doing the same thing where, we don't care your background or what demographic you fall under, that everything we do is accessible for you. So whether you realize you need it or not, and, if you ever come to my job club, you see I give a lot of tough love. Because I want you to understand and I want you to learn, and I need you to realize how important understanding how to use a computer is, because everything's online. And what I say to people who come to the job club or come to my workshops is, the powers that be, which I always say, they don't care whether or not you know how to use a computer or not. They expect you to vote online or to pay for something online or to click this link and to verify your email and to send this document online. They expect you to know how to do that, and they don't care whether or not you know how to do it, because if you don't, they expect you to fall down to the wayside and they're not going to give you that support. So hopefully we're a safe space for the community to come to get support, to get information and guidance, and to improve themselves.
So when you say, like, I've got to dig into here because co-working people love the word community, and like what we're talking about here and what I've experienced in Space 4, particularly around that lunch table, is the community. And when people are sitting around in Job Club, can you describe the sense of community you get there? That kind of, if there is one. You're allowed to say there isn't one. Let's move on. But I think there might be.
There's definitely a sense of community now. Like, so we've been running for 12 weeks now, and now we have regulars that come. We have regulars that come and they want to see a particular volunteer because they've built a rapport with them. If I don't turn up because I'm away And then I come back the week after, I'm told off because I'm told by whoever came the week before that I came and you wasn't here, Williamz. Where was you? Was waiting for you. So there's definitely a sense of community, and there's the peer-to-peer support now where the users are talking to each other, they're supporting each other, they're helping each other with the computers. So there's a real sense of community within the job club, which I absolutely love, and it's a different vibe from Enfield because we also run job clubs in Enfield. So we run job clubs in libraries in Enfield, which are safe places. Like, people love going to the libraries. It's a safe space. The whole community goes to the library. So to have a job club in a co-working space, there's also that sense of community, safety. I belong here. I feel welcome here. And Space 4 has been able to offer that to us, which is absolutely amazing. So there's definitely a sense of community.
I get this, like, I just get this sense. This is my, reading. Like, it's like a constant uphill battle, like trying to get these people over here that want to find agency and find work and things like that. And there's, I know, like, your goodwill and them are like rubbing up against this system that seems harder than ever in my lifetime. How do you, like? I think what I'm asking is, how do you cope with that? Because it's like never ending.
I was talking to Stanley from Space 4 last week, and we were talking about burnout and achieving. Let's say you set a milestone and you meet that milestone, then you go on to the next milestone. So it's almost like you don't appreciate the moment. So what I've tried to do with the consultancy, because I remember when the consultancy was just a concept, was just an idea. I left Enfield Council through redundancy. I was running a job club as part of one of my projects. And then I decided to continue to run it. And it was, I don't know what this looks like being outside of the council. So when I look back to where we started to where we are now, I've had to appreciate all the milestones and be in the moment. So even now, like with the job club in Finsbury Park, I'm loving that we're in Finsbury Park. I'm loving that it's a new job club. I'm loving that we easily get between 11 to 15 people every Friday for 3 hours. I'm loving the fact that we get referrals from different community organizations because now we are a trusted place to send people to get support. I love the fact that users of the job club have recommended neighbors, siblings, friends, partners to come along. So I make sure I take stock of how far we've come, but there's still so much more work to do. So that's how I kind of continue to stay motivated, just to appreciate the journey that we've been on so far.
Do you know the one oil barrel at a time?
Yes.
Yeah, it feels like that. One distinction, I should have asked this at the beginning, sorry, like, what is the difference between coming to your job club and going to the Jobcentre? Because that's pretty huge, isn't it?
So the Jobcentre, they are there more so to process your benefits, and they will make referrals to their partners to get specific support. So you might go to the National Career Service to get support with a CV. So you'll be booked in for an interview or a meeting and with that partner, and then you'll see that partner one time. They'll do your CV, and that's it. Whereas with the job club, our support is ongoing. It's ongoing for as long as you need us. So with our job clubs, which we have 3 now every week on a Tuesday and Wednesday in Enfield, and now on a Friday, they run every week all year round. There's no eligibility criteria. So you can be working part-time, you could be a student, you could be outside of the borough. And it's a community safe space where community members can come along and get support regardless of the level of support. So you might need someone to change the email address on a CV. We'll do that for you. Or you might need a brand new CV because you never had a CV before. So we will sit with you, we'll talk to you, find out what your needs are, and then we will work with you over the course of however long you want to attend to see us. So it's a safe space. There's no ulterior motives. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to commit to anything. And we're just there to support you. So that way of working is very unconventional because normally a community member, i.e., which the powers that be, when they fund a project, have to meet a certain criteria. So the local council or the organization that's putting on the project will get funding from a funding provider, and the people that they work with has to fit a certain criteria. So they have to be unemployed for at least 6 months, or they have to have come out of prison, or they have to be a refugee, or they have to be over 50s, or they have to be at risk of youth violence. We don't have any criteria. So everybody's welcome to come and see us. So I think that's the main difference, is that we don't have any eligibility criteria, and we can work with you for as long as possible. And it's a free service to the end user. So that's the stark difference between us and the Jobcentre. We don't have anything to do with anyone's benefit, so we don't report back to the Jobcentre if job logs has turned up or not. That's not what we do, but we do get referrals from the Jobcentre. So that's a relationship that works really well.
I didn't know that. That's really good to hear. Is this a sort of place, like, because if I was a freelancer, could I come here and get my act together, or is it people looking for a job?
We work with everybody, like I don't turn anyone away. So I tell everybody to come down, talk to me, let me see what I can do. Maybe I'm not the right person, or this is not the right situation to help you, but what we try to do is refer you to the right organization to support you. So a few weeks ago, a gentleman came to us because they were referred to us by the Jobcentre, and his case was quite sensitive. So we made a referral to the Citizens Advice Bureau, and he had no idea that they existed. So the type of support he needed was specialist support. So we made a referral, got the information up on the laptop, and gave him the details so he can self-refer. So even though we may not be able to help you, what we won't do is just say we can't help you, and that's the end of the story. We will try and find a referral partner to send you to get that support.
And what is like the most frequent support people need when they come in? Is it putting together a CV, or is it around confidence or how to articulate themselves? What are the sort of 3 things you deal with the most?
Definitely CV will be number 1. Digital inclusion would be number 2, so computer skills, and then confidence will be number 3, so gaining confidence.
And where are people? This is a really bad question. Sorry. Like, where are people most unconfident? Is it like they just don't know where to go, or they're navigating a new pathway, or their sense of self-worth, or what is it?
All of the above. Like if you've been working for a very long time and then now all of a sudden you're unemployed, okay, people can deal with that, things change. And then it's like, okay, now you need to find a job, and it's a minefield. Like, okay, what does that look like? What do you mean to find a job? The job I got, I gave my CV to someone who then called me for an interview, whereas now I need to have a digital CV, and so I need to update it. Then I need to upload it. Then I have to answer all these questions. Is it safe for me to be giving away all my information? Then I have to do these tests. Oh, I need to do a online interview. So there's so much that has changed, and there's so much that people are expected to do. And if you don't have the confidence around digital inclusion, like you don't have a laptop, or your phone is old, or you don't really know how to use your phone, that really eats away at people's confidence. Yeah. So what we try to do is not make anyone feel stupid, and give them that support. So it's a lot of tough love. Like, I want you to kind of sink or swim, but we're going to be the life raft right there. So you might not see us, but we're right there, and we're going to support you. And you're going to figure this out. And, that's one of the biggest things, is the digital exclusion. CV is a huge one. I would say probably percentage-wise, 70 to 80% of people that come through the door want a new CV. So that's probably what they're most referred to us for, is to get a new CV updated and created, and then the digital inclusion, and then the confidence.
I always think it's amazing how much we just assume everyone knows what we know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if I'd be like, oh, just people just say it without thinking, and they're not being idiots, but they go, oh yeah, just like someone might still say to me, "Oh, fax it over." I'm like, "Wait, I haven't sent a fax for like 20 years, mate. I
yeah,
wouldn't know how to do that." Or things like making a CV, electronically signing stuff.
yeah,
Someone who's kind of like in their 60s, knowing what LinkedIn is, like how it all works
yeah.
must be terrifying.
Yeah, even like you talk about older people, and accessing like health services. So there's not this expectation for people to be able to do a repeat subscription on the app or go through their GP's website, and there's just like an expectation, like, okay, we've made the infrastructure, we've made the app, we've made the website, now go and use it. But then the community is like, well, who's teaching us how to use it? How do we know we're using it correctly? Like, especially when it comes to your health records and ordering medicine, that's very sensitive and people don't want to mess that up. So yeah, when you do talk to the community, there's a lot of uncertainty and fear, where there's like, okay, I've been forced to use these new ways of doing things, and I don't know if I'm doing it correctly, but I've been told this is what I need to do. Williamz, is this the right way of doing it? And I'm just like, okay, let's do a workshop and figure this out together.
There's the only reason I know how to do anything that involves interacting with the government is because my wife worked for so long in local authorities, and even booking I can just about ring up the GP, but every time they come up with an app or something,
Right.
I need to have a little workshop in the kitchen to get through it, and
There you go.
and I know what I'm doing. Just before we go, is there with what you've seen so far with co-working spaces, is there anything you think co-working spaces could do? Like, there's quite an easy win. Hate to use that phrase. Sorry, easy win.
Um,
Beneficial, even worse, to help people that are left behind.
so when I went to Space for the first time, I went there for a specific reason. I went there to look at starting a cooperative around freelancers. Now, outside of that, would I have gone into Space for? Probably not. So with the job club, a lot of people are coming to Space for the first time, um, and they wouldn't have come to the Space for otherwise. So it's like almost, and I've spoken to Natalie and Maddie about this, is having things that the wider community feel comfortable going to and attending. So yes, of course, if you're into coding, if you're into AI and tech, then you might know of Space for. But if you're a local resident and you might be interested in tech, AI, but it's not something that you've had an opportunity to explore, then how do we bridge that gap? So by having a job club, that gap is slowly starting to be bridged. So what we want to do is have, workshops. Now we have a captive audience. I've asked Maddie to give me like a synopsis of what is it that Space for do, what courses are on offer, what workshops are on offer, how do we pass this information and make it accessible to those who are coming for the job club. So I think they're the easy wins. If you're able to engage with the community, the wider community, in a genuine way, then you can then promote some of the things that you are doing anyway. And I think that's an easy win.
It is and something like I need to find a job is a very good use of space in a co-working space.
It's amazing.
I really agree with what you're doing there. We're going to put links to everything in the show notes, but do you want to shout out to where people can get involved and connect with you?
Yep. So you can hit me up on Instagram. So it's WO Consultancy. I'm on LinkedIn, WO Consultancy, or Williamz Omope. And all the information's on there. All what we do. I've got a website, woconsultancy.co.uk. So that's being updated at the moment. So there's lots of stuff on there of what we do and how we do it. We've got a lot of stuff on our media page where we've done different networking events and we've interviewed users, so you can get a real feel of what we do. But yeah, if you want to support, you want to volunteer, or you got any funding, because we're always on the lookout for funding. We want to be commissioned to do more stuff. We definitely want to spread the word for the job clubs, want to go into different boroughs, and just offer a place where the community feel they have a place to go to and get that genuine support with no eligibility criteria, no ulterior motives, just trying to make the world a better place one day at a time.
Lovely. Go and click that link in the show notes, folks, because I want to say WO Consultancy. Is that it?
It's my initials, WO Consultancy.
Yeah,
well, you can call it WO if you want. Woo!
Yeah, like WooCommerce. That's what's in my head. Like WO Consultancy. There's a whole load of community-based projects, getting people into libraries, job clubs, youth engagement there. So if it's a really good jumping off point there. I was a little bit in awe when I went to your website, and the photos are really cool too. But thanks very much for your time and attention today. And folks, we're going to go to those show notes, click the link to the LinkedIn co-working group, which is like the most active thing ever. There's all the folks putting their podcasts in there, like Caleb and Fanny and Suzanne, and even Mark Navarro pops in every now and then. And then I want to get this on your radar, folks. In 2026, which I know is a long way away, there is the Workspace Design Show at the Business Design Centre in Islington, and also there's European Co-working Day sometime in May. But we want to be warming up for there. Anyway, so wherever you are in the world, be careful out there. It is a jungle.